What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. You look at him and you know you're dealing with a dark-skinned Mexican American, right? And he has decided he wants to be Charleston White. He wants to be the shock jock. And he's making a fool out of himself. And that's fine. He can do whatever he wants to himself, right? But his lane now is that he's white. He's not Mexican at all. He's white. I'm going to put a couple pictures up. This is the individual saying that he is a white man. And that no form or fashion is he Mexican. Did you see it? I didn't happen to see it. And I'm one of those people that I hate when race is brought into anything. But I'm going off of what this individual has started to do lately. And it's not a good look, man. And I'm gonna show you. Look at one of the videos he did. I think it was 2 years ago. And he's talking about another platform, how it's horrible for society, right? How bad it is for society. This was 2 years ago. Now look at his page. Look at how many followers he has. He posts a lot of videos on a platform that 2 years ago he did a video about. How it was a parasite. How it was so bad for society. And look at 2 years later, he's loving it. He's more successful there than on this platform. The hypocrisy of some is amazing. Now, the only reason why I'm even, and I'm not, you see, I'm not going to say his name. That's what he wants. You see what his motivations really are. Being himself wasn't successful. Being someone who just says things to get a reaction, that's what he's chosen to do. And so he did something. I saw it on that other platform. He released a video where he was saying that those men like myself who have gone to prison, we are basically nothing. We're low lives. That we're deadbeats. We do nothing for society and for the communities and on, right? There was just a lot of harsh judgment. And it's always a trip when people talk about other people without ever taking a single step in their shoes. I was a gang member. I was a criminal. I've given the state 27 years of my life incarcerated. I made horrible decisions for a majority of my life. Then I grew up. Then I figured out what was important. But see, before all that, like most gang members, there's some type of trauma within the household. Something happens to where kids at a very young age believe the family that they are born into doesn't love them as much as the family in the streets. And so they're willing to sacrifice their lives and their freedom for that family, the streets. They're willing to kill or die for that family, the streets. And a lot of them never stop to realize that every time they go to jail, the streets don't go with them. The streets ain't doing time with them. But the family they were born into, they are. Moms is struggling to try to make sure you get a package. Maybe you got a sister that helps. Maybe you got a brother, very rarely, that's willing to help. Not everyone figures out they are important. Important enough to not sacrifice for something that isn't their own blood. I lived that life. I know why people got involved in that lifestyle. I'll be damned if I'm going to shit on those people. And so for a guy that never lived that life, a guy who denies his own heritage, denies his own bloodline, for him to speak on men who have lived a troubled life due to poor decisions, that's why I'm making this video. There's a lot of people that don't like me, and I don't waste my time trying to make them like me. I know who I am. I know where I've been, and I've learned a lot of hard lessons, and I'm grateful for those lessons. I'll be damned, like I said, if someone who has never lived a lifestyle is going to speak on it. The audacity of some people, right? You know, it's like when I used to mentor guys in prison. When it came to the whole gangbanging criminality, my addiction was criminality. There is a thing such as lifestyle addiction. A lot of people don't know that, but that was my addiction to the lifestyle, to criminality. And I would mentor guys who had a drug addiction along with their addiction to the criminal lifestyle. And I would give them all the game I had, all the tools that I had learned. But I would always tell them, your substance abuse, I don't know anything about that. They would have to get that knowledge from someone else. It wasn't for me to judge them. And here we have people from outside of that world. You ever notice that people always have the answer for everyone else, but never have the answer for themselves in their own lives? You ever notice that? You could have a friend that his life is rough, it's busted. He's not living right. And when you tell him about something going on in your life, he has every answer. He has a solution to everything in your life. Unfortunately, there's people that have that friend in their life and they listen to that person, overlooking how busted up and bad their lifestyle is. They believe that. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure I did a video on this. You know, I went back and forth on whether or not I would. But because he has a pretty loud voice on the other platform, not here, I wanted to make sure that I gave a voice to those that he chooses to judge. The guy says he's a Christian. I'm a Christian. I always tell people, I'm a Christian. I'm just not your definition of a Christian. Don't worry about me. We all have a personal relationship with God. And this person says that he's a Christian and yet is that judgmental. Maybe he needs to pick up the book again. Anyways, that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.